Hello, friends. It's been a while. My name is Raymond, and this is my coffee. And welcome to what was formerly, I think, for 6 episodes, Coffee with Raymond, and is now transforming into something new, which I will tell you about at the end of this video. A lot has happened since we last talked. I think when we last chatted, I talked about how I felt called to Christ and I felt compelled into ministry, and I was trying to find my place. Well, I did eventually find my place, and I am happy now to call myself a Quaker. I am firmly convinced of Quakerism, and I have joined the friends here in Pittsburgh. I'm not yet a member. That takes some time. It takes some community building and some trust, but I have a strong leading to join as a member full time and to do as much as I can to help the friends and to be part of that community and that group and that social movement. I believe it is as close to Christ's teachings as I have read from the Bible of any place that I have actually gone to. And it's something that I'm fully pursuing. So I've been going to meeting for a while. It's not really a new thing. I know I'm announcing it here for the first time because I just haven't been on YouTube for a while. But I joined and I found that it brings a lot of meaning and a lot of good to my life. I have been feeling the call to ministry for a while, and I've been investigating different teachings and different ministries and different teaching programs. And I applied to a couple, and I didn't get into them because I'm just very new, and they were looking for folks who are a little bit further along on their path. And but there are many ways to engage in ministry. And one of the ways that I've engaged previously is in taking part in peace and social justice movements, right? I was a medic for Black Lives Matter in Columbus, Ohio in 2020 and 2021. And I have found that providing those sorts of services to people in my community to help provide a safer place for people to protest and to engage in their civil rights and their rights of free expression at protest, I think is a very important, valuable thing. And I feel quite honored to have participated in that. Now, here in Pittsburgh, we have a lot of issues. And at the moment, the big thing that I think is on everyone's mind is what's going on with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. As we all know, Renee Good was murdered, Alex Preddy was murdered, Miramar Martinez was attempted to be murdered. They've kidnapped people off the street. They have taken away it is a really brutal, cruel, awful thing. And so there's an intersection of that, my calling to ministry, and then also a very recent change to my employment and to my relationships and life that has kind of led to what I think I'm going to do next. So I was dating somebody for a few years, and we ended things in September. And she ended up moving out in December. We're still friends. We keep in touch. Things are amicable. It's just one of those things where, some relationships you drift apart over time. And in hindsight, that's a very sad thing to go through, and it's a sad thing to experience. But I think both her and I are both happier now apart. And I think that's something that should be celebrated, our happiness, right? And that means we get to keep our friendship, which a lot of relationships don't get to keep their friendships. And so that's something that I will always cherish with this person. I get to keep them in my life in some way, and that's a good thing. So I lost my partner And then I had a falling out with one of my parents who I felt quite betrayed by and have been feeling quite betrayed by for a very long time. And so that relationship has hopefully not ended, but has at least been put on pause until some amends can be made. And then on top of that, just 2 weeks ago, I lost my job. So I worked for PNC Bank here in Pittsburgh. I led the cloud security development team here, which is just a cybersecurity team that puts policies into practice that help protect critical infrastructure like servers and routers and things. So I led the team that did that kind of work, and I was very successful at it. But I ended up writing a post internally that was critical about the misuse of AI and also supportive of immigrants, and also kind of worried about the general social movements that can happen when we're more interested in narrative and likes and subscribes and less interested in truth and reality. And it was kind of a political post, but I felt was pretty neutral, right? Like, I think a calling to truth and to integrity at a bank is a good thing to call for. And it was not, because I got fired for it. They deleted my post. I then complained about them deleting my post, continually to challenge, hey, where in policy is this a violation? They never once were able to point to anything in policy that was a violation. They just didn't like what I wrote. And then when I said, hey, there are security concerns if you're suppressing speech like this at work, reasonable professional speech, not inflammatory speech, right? I work in cybersecurity and I work in AI and I am a leader. Like, I'm trying to discuss these things and talk openly about them professionally, civilly at a bank. And my comments were suppressed. They deleted them, and then they fired me for dare challenging the integrity of the people who had them deleted. And I will continue to challenge the integrity of those people. I think it is wrong. But I don't actually have a beef with the bank. I don't. This video is not about go after this bank or go after these people because they did me, some random guy in Pittsburgh, wrong. When you stand for your integrity, sometimes that has a cost. And I paid that cost, and I would pay it again 7 times over. They made their choice. I made mine. I got nothing against them. I really don't. And please leave them alone. I'm only sharing this story so you understand where I'm at. So I got fired on a Thursday, and I thought about it. And that Friday, I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to run against John Fetterman for Senate in 2028. And I thought about it a little bit longer, and I thought, man, that's insane. Like, who's going to vote for me? A random guy in Pittsburgh who's just a game designer who cares about other people and comes from a working class family, who's a first generation college graduate, is a self-made man. Who's going to vote for me? And then I heard God speak to me and said, people will vote for you. I said, okay. So I'm running against John Fetterman in 2028. And I'm going to put out some videos that is going to talk about my platform. This video is not really going to be about my platform. I'm just kind of introducing where I'm at now and what's going on and what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to try to lay up on the edits a little bit on these videos so that you can hear the pauses in me when I'm speaking. I want it to feel maybe a little bit more like we're in the room together. And I hope maybe in the future we can be in the room together. I also just noticed I have a coffee stain. That's not good. I hope you can forgive me. So, long story short, I'm coming for John Fetterman's seat in 2028. I don't have a lot of money, but I got good morals. I got a strong drive to serve people and to serve the community that I come from and the communities like it, which are rough, frankly. I come from a working class neighborhood. But I believe that the future of this country got stolen within my generation. And I don't think that we can accept that. I don't think we have to accept that. And I think that the only thing that allows evil to triumph is when good men do nothing. So I'm going to do something. Stay tuned. God bless. To good spirit and good fortune. Take care.